Yeah. Yo, is this the reason that, G Herbo possibly joined the Fuck the Street movements? If you don't know, he was notably one of the rappers, I believe the only Chicago rapper I've seen, who said fuck the streets or joining on the movement. Now, granted, I think he's having a run in hip hop. I think he's having a phenomenal run. He's one of the hottest rappers out. But when it came time to, the Fuck the Street movement, he did join in. However, I think the point about this whole Fuck the Street movement is that these guys are rapping about the streets. Okay, now, if you don't know, the song that kind of catapulted him into like a new stratosphere in the last year is a song called Went Legit. Okay, this particular song, he says a whole bunch of stuff, but he starts dropping them 3 and 4 letter words. And no, he's not talking about CIA, CIA, DEA, ATF, ICE. He ain't talking about them. He started talking to other shit. He said he's GDK, EBK, MBG, NLB, and MLB, NLM, whatever he's saying. Okay? He said, give him a switch, he'll get like NCAA. I'm like, oh, he's blitzing. Cool. And I'm gonna lie, that was a clever little flip on words. Regardless, G Herbo, like most Chicago rappers who are black disciples, have consistently taunted or touted that they are GDK. Now, GDs, and I'm being a little bit elementary here for people that might be newer, don't know. GDs are a faction, it's a gang faction that is called the Gangster Disciples. They're kind of notorious in Chicago. And BDs who beef with GDs usually say that they're GDK, which means they're Gangster Disciples killers. Okay? Now, with that, we rarely see them run into a GD. And it looks like at a recent club appearance, while G Herbo was walking in, there was a GD who pops up and throws up some hieroglyphic alien symbol to him that he knew what it meant. Now, apparently this is what they call the rakes, okay? So I'm not going to do it, but that's how you throw up GD. I kind of know about GD because of these rappers, and I always hear them saying they're dropping the rakes, which just means that's a disrespectful, type of thing. So it looks like a GD kind of confronts him and throws up the rakes in his face. Now, this is not Chicago, and I forgot which city this is, but G Herbo, and you'll see the full thing here. He later went on stage, because this was a club, and he addressed the man that did that. Okay, this is what he said.
Straight up, I see niggas throwing signs in this bitch. Hey, this is my brother in the back that was throwing signs. Look, I fuck with all real street niggas all around the globe, man. I don't give a fuck with the GD, BD, Mother Stone, Cook, Blood, man. We real street niggas, we get money, man. You came out here to fuck with me, like I said. I fuck with you, man. Let's get this shit going.
That's a fucking head tap. And I'm GDK, EBK, MBG, and LMB craze. Give me a switch to get like NCAA, nigga. I blitz. Niggas bitches on the.
Okay. Now, a lot of people said, yo, G Herbo. So in gang terms, and I know, people are going to try to sanitize, but I'm going to give you out a real. That's a crashable offense in gang terms, okay? If you're GDK and a GD throws up their sign in your face, you're supposed to handle whatever you claim you meant when you were saying you're GDK. So this is a crash out or crashable offense. Now, granted, and this is what I love about the streets being online now, because while that's the reaction by all street niggas, G Herbo's in a very interesting position. He's in a one-of-one position in his career. He's at the apex, and if he crashes out, we're gonna look at him like how we looked at, like a lot of y'all looking at Dirk. Like, yo, everybody was saying, yo, slide for Vaughn. Man, we don't want to hear that. Slide for Vaughn, nigga. Slide for Vaughn. Nigga slid for Vaughn. It was, and he got caught. It was like, yo, this dumbass nigga really did that? Yo, you were the hottest you were. Like, why would you do that? Again, you can't win. So G Herbo, in the streets mentality, was supposed to crash out. G Herbo didn't crash out. What do I think? I think G Herbo made the right move. Now, here's the thing. The two are not congruent, right? The two are not congruent. I don't know if you could say GDK a bunch and then GDs are pulling up on you and you're like Stevie Wonder, right? So this is another reason why I thought people were saying fuck the streets. I think a lot of the rappers who get successful realize that they're at a point that they are beyond the crash out. Because let's keep it real. Most of street shit is about crashing out. Yo, this nigga dissing your dead homie. What you gonna do about it? Nothing? Oh, you pussy. Oh, this nigga, he shot at you. He robbed you. You see him in the club. You ain't gonna do nothing? Oh, you pussy. This nigga, he did X, Y, and Z. Y'all beefing. Yes, you're at this place to collect money, but you said you like that. Are you gonna step to him? Oh, you pussy if you don't do it. Yeah, street shit is all about crashing out. Like, and I'm not saying all street shit, but like the reactions, right? Like no one heralds forgiveness. Like, yeah, I know that nigga killed my brother, my mama, my auntie, my cousin, but I forgive him. You know what they say? Oh, you pussy. You just not like that, right? You just not like that, right? Like revenge is part of street shit, right? Like a lot of these things, but most of those things are crash out things. It's hard to explain it in anything that makes sense because here's the thing. I think G Herbo made the right move, but on a street perspective, it's like, well, maybe you should stop saying GDK because if niggas are pulling up on you and throwing up the rakes in your face, unless you're responding by dropping the rakes, which we don't know how that would have went, maybe you should just say, I'm mature now and I'm leaving street bullshit behind me. I don't know. I think he did the right thing. I think he absolutely did the right thing. But that's not congruent. And here's the conundrum that all street rappers are into. Street rap works, I keep telling y'all, when fans believe it. Fans have to believe you're down to crash. The moment fans think or could get confirmed you ain't down to crash, they start thinking, man, that nigga not like that. Trust me. Trust me. It's an interesting dynamic. If fans think you're like, of course you're not supposed to crash out. But if it's mad blatant, you're like, a lot of street rap is like pretending. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all don't like to hear that. There's a lot of wrestling when it comes to street rap. Why? If you're making $100 million, why the fuck would you actually just go murder somebody on camera? Or why the hell would you act emotionally or out of instinct and have somebody, yo, jump that nigga right there? That's how Tupac died. Even though a lot of people would say Tupac wasn't even street. So fans want the impulsive street reaction, but that street reaction oftentimes is associated with a crash out that could jeopardize why you're even there, what you've worked for. So I think G Herbo made the right decision. I would love to see what drill fans think about it. Now, granted, I think his fan base is much larger than just Chicago or drill fans at this point. But are they respecting it? I don't know. But the reality is, this is why I think gangster rappers get to a point, they get to a fork in the road. Because you can't lie to the internet has exposed everybody. Not only gangster rappers, everybody. It's told everybody you can't play both sides. Are you still the street nigga that stand on business and niggas can't play with you? Or are you the smart businessman that is making a financial future for your family and generational money that you will not let a bum or some random trick you out your position? The two ain't congruent. And the best street rappers act like the two are congruent. But we ain't never see them crash. And when we do see them supposedly crash, they in jail. Do you get what I'm saying? The ones it works for, they give, like, they make you feel like, yo, he might kill a nigga. You know what I mean? Like, name a couple rappers. I don't want to say no names. Like, and I'm not saying they're not like that. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. I'm not saying G Herbo's like that or not like that. What I'm saying is that there is a clear, and rappers themselves act like there isn't that hypocrisy. They be acting like they're down to throw it away. No, you're not. You're down to act like you're ready to throw away. When you rap, you're saying you're down to throw it away. Nigga diss me, I spend a block all night. No, you're not doing that. You're not doing it. You're going to hire extra security. You're going to move. You're going to go to an Airbnb in the Hollywood Hills. You're going to move your family out there. And the little crash outs in your team are going to do some stuff. You're not doing nothing. But the way they talk about it is like, yo, I'm killing, I'm stepping behind mine. It's not congruent. That's not true. So I think G Herbo took a fork in the road. I'm a grown man. I think he's like 31 or 32 now. I'm not going to be, jump. And by the way, also, this is another thing too. I don't know how G Herbo's moving these days, so I don't want to say I'm speaking for him. I'll tell you a little secret I've realized about most rap niggas. Most rap gangster niggas, the first 2 to 3 years, that's the only time they're really, really moving around with the crash outs. You can't do proper business with crash outs. You gotta leave them behind. Promise you. If you see any gangster rapper that's still moving with crash outs past year 3, they're destined for jail. Destined. Promise you. Destined. Nigga, the gangster rappers come to my studio. If they're older gangster rappers, there's no crash outs with them. That's the manager. That's the A&R. That's the photographer. That's the this. Like they got some niggas that come from the environment, but they don't have the crash house with them. That first year when they get that first check, they're bringing the dudes that got no concept of music business at all. They're just there that if he says, yo, jump him or punch him, it's over. Melee. I don't think G Herbo rolling. I'm not saying G Herbo, like them niggas that G Herbo, you would think G Herbo, like, cause I heard somebody say, well, G Herbo shouldn't have done nothing but the niggas he with. I'm like, I'm pretty sure G Herbo didn't go there with a bunch of crash out niggas. Bro, rappers don't roll like that, bro. I'm telling you. And if they roll like that, nigga, listen, I guarantee, like, no, this is, I guarantee Baby probably cut half of his crew off. Why? They was talking Rico talk with him. Yo, y'all niggas gotta stay at home now, man. I'm gonna get some security, and then these 3 niggas right here. He probably was bringing 40 niggas with him. You can't bring 40. I've never seen a rapper past year 3 bring 30 niggas from the block with him. Never. Unless they're trying to get in the chain gang. They're trying to get a Rico. I've never seen it. Tell me a rapper who do. 50 started with a bunch. 50 used to bring 50 niggas. By year 2, clipped. Chief Keef used to bring like 30 niggas. By year 1, clipped. Dirk? Dirk is an interesting case. Because Dirk's career, to the level where he's really popping, like, you know, his career's been like this, then he went, woo! By the time he hits that peak where he starts to collaborate, what's it called? And this is the difference, I think, with Dirk and other niggas. I think Dirk would separate. Dirk would kind of go back to those environments. Dirk would go back to those environments. Like Chief Keef went to Hollywood and he's like, I'm good. Like, I don't think that nigga sent a postcard or nothing back. He's good. Dirk would go back. But even then, Dirk would be rolling with certain people, but he trimmed down his crew. I know Dirk trimmed down his crew. Bro, nobody rolls with 30 niggas, bro. Long-term wise. If you're worth something. Because one of them is going to get you in a shooting and you're going to be on that murder charge. You know why? Because you're the famous rapper. Even if you didn't shoot the gun. You're in the entourage. So anyway, I don't think G Herbo had 30 niggas with him. I think G Herbo probably had 4 or 5 dudes with him, maybe 1 or 2 security, and probably club security with him. So he had people with him, but he don't got no crash outs that when that happens, they're going to fuck the club up. I don't think that was what's happening. That don't mean G Herbo ain't like that. That don't mean not street. No, G Herbo's a businessman. And this is why I keep telling y'all about street raps. Street raps, you gotta fool the audience to make them think you're a gun-toting savage. I'm sorry. Like, that's what works. Bruh, look, they're partying Young Boy. Young Boy got the guns back in the video. Bruh, his fans want to see it. Right? But I think G Herbo, I don't want to sit here and mince words. G Herbo made the right move. And I would hope his fans will understand, but I understand niggas are going to be like, nah, I don't know. You can't be, like, you've been saying you GDK for like 15 years, and a GD is throwing the rakes up in your face? Ah, hell nah. Yeah, I could see some fans saying that. But that's where G Herbo is at the fork in the road. Are you going to pick being a grown man? Or are you going to still try to keep this facade? Because the reality is the millionaire gangster that's stepping on niggas don't exist. These guys are in high rises, in mansions, out the way. Now, granted, that dude who did that, I'm not saying that nigga ain't going to get dealt with. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when y'all think that G Herbo going to do it or do something in the moment because he rap like whatever, no, he's a businessman. I'm sorry. Okay? All right. G Herbo did respond, though. And he said this. Says, watch I get to 100 million before you niggas get a house.
Hey, man. Y'all think I made it all the way to 30? Being a fucking idiot, being stupid. Hang it up, man. I ain't never let no nigga trick me on my motherfucking slot. I ain't get here by accident, man. Straight the fuck up. Nigga ain't gonna never see me crash out. But just know I'm gonna be 10 toes. Everything I believe in, everything I stand for, I'm dying behind this shit. And I go to jail for the rest of my life behind this shit, nigga. And I ain't trying to go do that. You see what I'm saying? I got a family to raise, nigga. I got kids to raise. But everything I believe in, I'm dying about. So don't let that go over your motherfucking head. But you would never trick me on my slot, nigga. I'm here to stay. Straight up.
I got to be honest. I'm usually critical of rapper response, but I think this is as best as a response you could get. He's basically saying, hey, I'm still standing on what I say. If I've been saying GDK, it's GDK. However, if I see a GD and I'm there to do business, I don't feel I got to do nothing. But if this person had confronted me and challenged me physically or challenged my safety based on what I've said or what I'm standing on, which is GDK, yeah, I'm willing to die or go to jail about it. Now, granted, that would be to be proven, but that's the best response he could do. The best response. I think it's a W.
Hey, man. Y'all think I made it all the way to 30? Being a fucking idiot, being stupid. Hang it up, man. I ain't never let no nigga trick me on my motherfucking slot. I ain't get here by accident, man. Straight the fuck up. Nigga ain't gonna never see me crash out. But just know I'm gonna be 10 toes. Everything I believe in, everything I stand for, I'm dying behind this shit. And I go to jail for the rest of my life behind this shit, nigga.
Now, I do want to also say, part of the expectation of G Herbo doing something comes from the idea that G Herbo, like many other rappers, when they rap gangster shit, like, be honest, chat, don't the gangster rapper come across like he's a superhero, like he's the toughest, right? Like, when you listen to these guys, it comes across like they're like superhuman tough guys. And that's why people actually feel like they should be, you know, jumping out the window, or everybody should fear them, or if someone disrespects them, repercussions should be dealt out. The reality is that it's just not that either. You know what I mean?
And I ain't trying to go do that. You see what I'm saying? I got a family to raise, nigga. I got kids to raise. But yeah.
Now, I'm going to keep it a bean with you, though. I think if that was Lil Durk a couple years ago, that club getting shut up. Durk was hanging with the wrong niggas. Durk would take a bunch of contract killers and put him and like start hanging around him. Like, again, I'm just keeping it a bean with you. Like, Durk would befriend the niggas that just they had tornadoes on their mind. All they wanted to do was spin. So I'm gonna be honest with you. But here's the thing: you then got to think where Durk is at, right? I got to be honest with you. Like, Durk would. I don't think Durk would. If that same thing happened to Durk, I don't think Durk does nothing. But niggas know if y'all don't fuck that nigga up and that club ain't toe up, y'all ain't getting no more OTF money. That's what I think. So niggas gonna tear that club up, whoop that nigga out. Why? Because that's how they know they boss is about action. Respectfully, I'm not saying nobody else ain't about action, but I think Durk was also kind of keeping it a little too real. Too real. I think Vaughn was keeping it too real. There's a lot of rappers who they go in a public place and they see their enemy and they could just walk to the other side. They chill back. They let them go. Then they go their way. They don't want to cross paths. You don't want to fuck up the money. Vaughn seen his op. Supposedly he drove to where his op was and he hopped out the car because he wanted to fight his op. He was acting like he was still in O-Block. Kept it too real. It didn't turn out good for all those people who's keeping it too real. Now, let me go to Chiracology to see how they are. They're dealing with this. Okay, I don't know what the consensus is. Jesus Christ. Let me see. Let me just search Herbo, probably. Oh man, the internet's undefeated. Okay. Can't be mad at the GD nigga when Herb been talking about he GDK. Let me see what people saying. The motherfucker in front of Herb on some, so you just gonna let him play in your face? Apparently this was North Carolina too. Remember we were talking about like Fayetteville and shit like that? Yo, them niggas real over there. J. Cole's the only exception. Yo, shout to my Fayetteville demons. Shout to y'all. And it said, you don't know who, if Herb would have tipped in what? Folks would have what? Then what? A broke middle-aged game. Okay, so people are kind of getting it. Niggas be funny up in here in North Carolina. Herb did right, though. Dude wasn't worth it. Somebody said Herb just had to take that. Somebody say he got that bitch up firm in his face. I'm crying. Somebody said Herb did that to himself. That's why 42 Doug specifically says he hate Bloods from one section of his city. Because niggas from everywhere. Okay. Somebody said, man, gang is out of state. That ain't his op. But it's Fayetteville. They known for stealing chains and popping shit. I'd leave them alone too. Damn, Fayetteville niggas like that? If you go around screaming GDK and Die 5, you will get 100% tested when you're out of town. I think that used to happen at Chief Keef shows too. Because Chief Keef was talking crazy in his songs. That was an open invitation for an altercation. Dude is an old crash out. He got in his personal space and threw up the force just to check his temperature. Crazy. Some people think he posted crash out because of this. Someone said, the fuck y'all wanted Herb to do? Beat this nigga and get sued for tens of thousands in a civil suit? Somebody said, if this was outside or in the mall, cool, but the nigga paid money to a club he knew Herbo was performing. Not to do that, that's a grown-ass goofy. Somebody said, I don't even think Herb care. Half of his hood is GD, and he named one of his biggest mixtape after a dead GD homie Fazo. Somebody said, Herb ain't stupid motherfucker want to get a lawsuit. Somebody said, Herb don't give a damn. Okay. Somebody said should have crashed out and threw his life away. What? All right.
You know, so I had to be like 13, 14. Yeah, like 13 though.
So when would you say like y'all really gained the relationship to the point y'all was considered close type shit?
I wasn't never close with her like that until like the end. Like we got the click when he started coming outside. He wasn't never coming outside. He's one of them niggas like.
This is a nigga that was, this is one of the guys that he kind of like cut off or something like that. He wanted to get brought to Egypt.
Mom's got the supper at home type shit. He running home at 7 o'clock. But he was never outside though, so he couldn't ever run home. He just always went home.
See, you can't win. You take care of niggas from your hood. They claim you one of the realest niggas. You stop feeding them, and now they're online saying that you never came outside.
Got the supper at home. Never was on the block hanging with us. When I first met him and shit, I asked him what he was. He said, I'm No Limit. I said, how the fuck you No Limit? I'm really No Limit. You ain't never been on my block. Where the fuck you from? I ain't know, bro. You know, I just let him do them. I let him claim what he claimed. I ain't question him on it. I was a shorty. I thought he wanted to hang with us. I just let him do that. But I know I didn't grow up with bro. He wasn't an original nigga.
So anyway, see? So, yeah, I don't know what people want G Herbo to do, man. He shows off his watch. He said this is cost a house. You know one of the most interesting things, chat? Charleston White said it. And Charleston White's very honest, and I like him for that. It said, yo, Charleston, Sean Cotton asked me, say, yo, you used to shit on people who buy designers. You used to say it's worthless, blah, blah. But now you're seeming to buy designer and chains. You used to say chains are a waste of money and like only stupid niggas who were like slaves buy it. And he kept it real. He said, I ain't gonna lie. I used to say that because I was broke. I couldn't afford it anyway. Now I can afford it. I don't feel the same. Why do I say that? Because, well, we could call it maturity. We could call it maturity. But remember when even like 6ix9ine was getting into it with G Herbo this and third? G Herbo kept saying, man, fuck platinum. I'm platinum in the streets. He basically kept saying, yo, when it comes to the streets, that's what matters. G Herbo now blew the hell up, and G Herbo is now lit as hell. And when some nigga tries to do some bait him into a crash out in the streets, you know what he says? I'm gonna get to 100 million before y'all niggas, man. Before y'all niggas get a house. Yo, look at his watch. This costs a nigga a house right here. Do you see what I'm saying? People's situations make their mindset whatever it is. When G Herbo wasn't as successful, yo, it's all about the streets. Now, man, y'all niggas ain't gonna have me trick me out of this position. Look at all what I got. Not saying either right. I think we could call it growth if you want to call it that. Speaking of GDs and GDK, I don't know if you guys